Hello everybody, I am back for another Baltimore Ravens video. This video just gonna be me talking about the Ravens season, the regular season and postseason. I'm mainly also gonna be talking about the on the field stuff. We're not be getting into anything that happened off the field, which if you can't already tell by my background and my thoughts on similar players who went through this kind of crap that a certain kicker is going through, then you know my feelings already. Anyways, so this video is just talking about the Ravens and what I thought about their season. Let's start off offensively. Very nice season offensively. By far, I think the best season that Lamar Jackson has had, both past and as a passer. As a rusher, he didn't have to do much, but that's also because they had Derrick Henry, and he had a really nice year, and I'm very happy to see how Derrick Henry will do going forward. So let's get both of those out of the way really quick. I think Derrick Henry will be a big piece moving forward. Even though he's early 30s, he still looks as good as he did when he was in his prime in Tennessee. Um, then you have Zay Flowers, who had a really nice year. Mark Andrews, who led the team in touchdowns. I liked what I saw from Isaiah Likely. I think he's going to be a nice piece moving forward. And very excited to see what the rest of this team looks like going into next season. I do think they will take a wide receiver to Likely, complement Bateman and Likely and Flowers and Andrews. But that's a question for another day. Defensive, then we'll move on to the defensive side. Yeah, there were some struggles, especially since we didn't have a linebacker or two that really showed up. I mean, Chris Board had a pretty nice second half season, as when they took out Trent Simpson. So I am excited to see what they do there between Board, Simpson, and Harrison, as well as possibly drafting somebody. Um, I also really like what Ardarius Washington did this year as the other starting safety with the struggles of Marcus Williams. So I do like him and Hamilton moving forward. So, and then our cornerbacks are Humphrey and Wiggins moving forward as well. I do not think we'll resign Brandon Stevens. He did not have a good second half of the season. I think out of I think we might keep White. I actually thought White had a pretty solid second half. So I think going forward, we'll probably keep White and then we'll draft another defensive back to add into the mix. So going to the next tier, this is the improvements I want to see. Number one, offensive line, specifically guard. I think we're set at left tackle. We need to resign Stanley. That's a must. Rosa Gardner will sit right tackle, and center will be Linderbaum. I think those three are set. Right guard is Falele right now, and I think we'll keep Falele at right guard. He actually had a solid second half. Not the best lineman in the world, but definitely looks like he improved. The biggest question is left guard. McCarry's a free agent. I don't think we're keeping him. So the question is, do we keep Voorhees at left guard or do we draft somebody? And right now, I would say draft somebody and I then compete with both guard spots. If Falele's not showing much improvement from where he was second half last year, just said good but not great. But the rookie is having a really good camp. I say put him in at one of those two guard spots. Whether he replaces Falele or Voorhees, I think he will be a starter. And then defensively, we're fine at defensive tackle. The biggest question at defensive tackle is, do we keep Travis Jones? And if I'm going to be completely honest right now, not really. I think Broderick Washington's under contract for another couple of years. So, yeah, Broderick Washington. Got Matty BK. Got Pierce as their starting three right now. And if you decide not to resign him, then you go cheaper option, you keep Brent Urban. And then you also could draft somebody there as well. Defensive line is another draft position I think you can probably get somebody pretty deep at. Linebacker. Outside linebacker specifically. I do not think they'll draft or pick up every outside linebacker. So right now, their two starters are Kyle Van Noy and Odafe Oweh. Both have had really nice years. I think both also broke 10 sacks. And I think right now, those are your two starting outside linebackers. Travis Jones is another one that I thought has looked pretty solid, and I would like to see more of coming up in the upcoming years. Not Travis Jones, Tavius Robinson. That's what I meant to say. Tavius Robinson is going to be probably your edge three right there, and I think right now those three are your. Is I don't know if you keep David Ojabo or not. Let's say you keep David Ojabo. There's a year four right there. So not to keep David Ojabo, you release him. You bring in a fourth outside linebacker. So there's a year starting. You bring a fourth outside linebacker in like the fifth, sixth round, and then that's your other outside linebacker. And then your defensive backs, as I said before, we got Ardarius Washington and Kyle Hamilton. Those are your two starting safeties. I think you re-sign both, keep both under contract. Both are really good. Your third, then you also got Bo Braid and Snoozy Kane. Both I think are really good as well. So you got your depth right there, your four safety depth. I can also see in like the third round maybe going safety, so you add some depth there as well. But that's not much of a need as other positions. I think inside linebacker is more of a need on defensively at least. Inside linebacker and defensive end. Inside linebacker and defensive end are your biggest needs on defense. And then corner, and then safety, and then outside linebacker. I think outside linebacker, of all the positions on defense, outside linebacker looks like the most solid right now, which is crazy to me because a couple years ago, I just said that that's one of the biggest needs. But with the breakout year Odafe Oweh had, and the rebound year Kyle Van Noy had, and Tavius Robinson having some sparks as well, I don't think that's as big of a need as, let's say, inside linebacker, where we don't know who our other starter is next to Roquan Smith. Is going into next year, your starters are Matty BK and Matty BK and Washington are your defensive ends, and your nose tackle Michael Pierce. Then your outside linebackers are Odafe Oweh and Kyle Van Noy. Your inside linebackers are Roquan Smith and an unknown. And as I said, for the unknown could be a Blake Harrison It can be uh, it could be Chris Board. It could be Trenton Simpson. It could be somebody you draft. That's the other linebacker. And then at defensive back, it is Marlon Humphrey and Nate Wiggins are your corners. And that's up for maybe you keep White as your third guy, their nickel back, their corner. And then your safeties are Darius Washington and Kyle Hamilton. The other question is on defense is uh the other question on defense is who is your who do we keep at corner? I'd say pass on keeping Jalen Armour Davis. Pass on keeping what's his name? Brandon Stevens. Pass on keeping both of those. I don't think we keep both of those. White is your most likely guy you're gonna keep. So you got those three, and then you draft somebody in like the second, third round. But those are just my thoughts for that. And then finally, special teams. Um, I think they're going to release Tucker no matter what because he had a bad year. So as a result, I don't think he's staying, even with all the legal troubles. Then you add in the fact they had done your it of itself, and it makes your situation a lot easier. Just release him. So I think you'll go for a kicker in the mid to late rounds, and maybe you pick up a veteran in free agency, like a Dustin Hopkins or Graham Gano or something. And then your punter Jordan Stout, that's not going anywhere. Sent long snapper Nick Moore, that's also not going anywhere. Justice Hill is your kick returner, that's not going anywhere. And then the bigger question is with your it's your punt returner because Tylan Wallace is a free agent. So do you bring Wallace back, add another wide receiver depth, and keep him returner, or do you bring in somebody else to be your punt returner there? Because you had Deontay Hardy, but he got hurt. So do you also bring back Hardy? I don't think you bring back Hardy either. But we'll see there. So those are just my thoughts for all three sectors of the team. Offense, defense, special teams. As I said before, this is just the end of the season review. Um, this is just going into the on the field stuff. I'm waiting for all the legal stuff to clear to really dive into that for Justin Tucker. And then I'll see you guys next time. Peace.